kind of hints have you gotten on the makeup of the House managers? I mean, most people expect the two of the committee chairs, Adam Schiff and Jerry Nadler of Intel and Judiciary, to be among. Do we know how many there will be? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think there was nearly a dozen or more than a dozen in 20 years ago with the Clinton impeachment. How many House managers are they contemplating?
Well, look, Schiff presented in the House Democrats caucus meeting this morning about the outlines of a Senate trial. He's intimately involved in this whole process. You wouldn't even make money in Vegas betting on Adam Schiff being an impeachment manager. I think that's more or less a foregone conclusion. Likewise, Jerry Nadler, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, has handled this process. The Judiciary Committee chairman was part of the process for the Clinton impeachment. There has been some talk among Democrats that 13 number was too big. A lot of the impeachment managers in the Clinton trial thought that number was unwieldy even at that time. So I suspect we're going to see a smaller group. The Clinton group was also all white men. I think there's a 0% chance that will be the case among the impeachment managers that Nancy Pelosi decides to select. She has talked for weeks about trying to tailor the selection of managers to the arena. And we know now what that means. That means you've got to essentially earn the opportunity to question witnesses. So she needs folks who can make the argument publicly and can make the argument that will impress these senators. It's not guaranteed they're going to get to call witnesses. So that cross-examination skill is arguably less important than that clear, concise communication skill and a seriousness that will appear which will appeal to senators who generally tend to hate anything that has to do with the House.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.